안녕하세요. 저는 UK 톡스 웨비나 시리즈의 두 번째 세션에 참여해 주셔서 감사합니다. 저는 주한영국문화원 교육사회실 소속 엄선현입니다. 우선 저희가 약속한 시간보다 10분 정도 지연이 된 부분 진심으로 사과드리고요. 저희 연사님께서 방금 전에 이제 기술적인 문제를 해결하시고 접속을 하셨습니다. 그래서 저희가 최대한 빠르게 이 세션을 진행을 하고 원래 예정되어 있던 시각에 제 세 번째 세션을 그대로 이어서 연결해서 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 팬데믹으로 인해 유학 준비하던 분들의 학업 계획에 많은 변수가 생겼기 때문에 저희가 다양한 선택지를 위해 영국 유학과 진로를 주제로 총 10개의 웨비나를 준비하였고요. 400명이 넘는 분들이 신청해 주신 만큼 유익한 시간이 되길 바라면서 두 번째 세션을 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 이번 세션에서는 영국 비자이민국의 에리카 취아오 담당관이 영국 신규 학생 비자와 구직 활동 비자에 대하여 발표를 하겠습니다. 시작에 앞서 간단한 당부 말씀드리겠습니다. 본 웨비나는 영어로 25분간 진행될 예정이었으나 15분간 진행되게 이제 수정이 되었고요. 궁금한 점이 있다면 채팅창에 질문을 해주시면 되는데 저희가 이제 시간이 축약된 관계로 실시간 질의응답은 진행하지 못할 수 있습니다. 그런 경우에는 저희가 전달해주신 채팅창에 질문들을 따로 정리해서 답변을 받아서 오늘 세션 등록해주신 분들께 이메일로 발송드리도록 하겠습니다. 다시 한번 사과 말씀드립니다. 그리고 컴퓨터로 접속하신 분들은 우측에서 채팅창 확인하실 수 있고요. 모바일 기기로 접속하셨으면 상단에 물음표 모양 눌러주시면 됩니다. 그리고 웨비나 종료 전 랜덤으로 한 분께 약속하지만 저희가 선물을 드릴 예정이니 끝까지 자리 지켜주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그럼 지금부터 시작하겠습니다. 영어로 진행됩니다. Hi, Erica. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi. I can hear
Hi,
you.
Erica.
Can you hear me?
Hi,
Yeah.
yes. So thank you so much for waiting for our opening in Korean. We are ready to hear your presentation now. So I'm going to announce officially. So everyone, I'm honored to introduce our guest speaker, Erica Qiao from UK Visa and Immigration. So her presentation will cover topics such as new student visa and graduation route. So I'll hand over to Erica now. Erica?
Hello. Yeah. Hello, everyone. It really took me some time to log into this seminar. So thanks for your all patience, and I will start right now. Thank you to British Council in South Korea for organizing this event. And I'm Erica from UK VI. I'm based in Shanghai, the British Consulate General in Shanghai. Next slide, please. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 points. So the first is the student routes. Second is the application process. The third one is options after studies. And the fourth one is the support for international students during the COVID-19 period. So the last I will mention about the UK border health measure. The UK is open for business, and genuine students are welcome to study at our world-class institutions. The UK remains the second most popular destination in the world for international higher education students. In year ending September 2020, there were over 176,000 UK student visas issued globally. 36% decrease on the year ending September 2019, but it is still higher than it was expected. Next slide, please. So we are introducing a new point-based immigration system from 2021, ensuring talent from around the globe has access to the UK world-class universities. It was opened in October 2020 already, so it is simpler and more streamlined. We continue to welcome international students and also in place no limit on the number of visas issued. We are also committed to increasing the number of international higher education students in the UK to 600,000 by 2030. So here are 3 benefits of the new student routes. There are student route and child student routes. So the first one is it allows greater ability to apply for further leave as a student in the UK, including study at any student sponsor type and at any level. Second benefit is it gives prospective students overseas the option to apply up to 6 months in advance of their course start date. It used to be 3 months in advance, but now it has been extended to 6 months. The third one is it removes study time limits for all students on postgraduate courses. So if you wanted to know more information about this new student routes, you could go to gov.uk for more information. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to introduce the process for UK visa application. Generally, we call it 3 steps. So here lists the 3 steps. The first one is pre-application. So first, for students who want to study in the UK, you have to obtain confirmation of acceptance for studies. We usually call it CAS, C-A-S. So once you get the CAS, check what kind of visa route you could apply. As we mentioned, we have student route and a child student route. I will go through that later. Then you can start preparing the documents you need for all visa applications. The documents, the country nationalities on Appendix X have a simplified document requirements. So they just need basically provide the qualification of their language and together with the CAS they received. TB certificate is required based on nationalities. Some nationalities need to provide TB certificate, so they need to go to a authorized clinic to do the TB test and get a report properly before the visa application. Some students may also need to apply to submit ATAS. So it depends on the subject they will study in the UK. Financial documents is the most important one, but because South Korea is listed the same as Chinese students, they do not need to provide financial documents with their application because they have simplified qualification for that. So I will mention that later. So that's the first step. Get the offer and check your visa type, then prepare the documents. The second one is online application. Start from 2015, UK started to use online application. So all the students need to fill the online form in English. While they are filling the online form, they need to pay for the visa fee as well as the international health surcharge fee. So after paying all the fees, you can make appointments on the internet as well. Choose the closest visa application center for document submitting. After you've made the appointments, you can upload and scan your supporting documents onto the VFS portal if you choose to scan uploading the documents by yourself. You can also choose to seek help from Visa Application Center. They could offer support on document scanning if you go there. So here comes the third step. On the third step, you just need to bring your passport with you, and all those original supporting documents is suggested to be taken with you because you may need to submit one time if they found that the documents are not uploaded properly. So bring all the documents with you, go there, submit your biometrics and photos at the Visa Application Center, and choose some optional services you would like to choose. And some students may also need to upload the documents on site. at the visa application center. So here finish all the UK visa application process. At the end, what you need to do is either choose to pay for the courier fee to collect your passports and visas at home, or go there by yourself to collect it by yourself. So here finishes the visa application process. Next, please. Here on this slide, I'm going to mention about the graduate route. It will be available in summer 2021. So for students who graduate after summer 2021, they could, for bachelor or master degree graduates, they could get a 2-year visa for staying in the UK. For doctor graduates, they could get a 3-year visa for staying in the UK. They could find a job during that year. Once you find a proper job, you could switch the visa type to Tier 2 work visa in that 2 years or 3 years time. So this policy, this new route will benefit all the students enrolled in summer 2020 who can graduate in next year in summer 2021. Anyone who graduates after summer 2021 could apply this route to get further stay in the UK. Next, please. This slide shows some temporary policies announced by the UK government to support those students during the COVID-19. So I'm going to go through all the 4 listed here. First is distance and blended learning permitted for this special academic year, as long as students transition to face-to-face learning as soon as circumstances allow. So they could, distance learning are permitted right now. The second one is students can, the visa vignette extension. Until the end of 2020, we will issue visa vignette for 90 days instead of the usual 30 days visa, giving a longer window in which a student can travel. Till end of 2020, those who had the 30 days visa could have the free service of visa transition if they didn't use that 30 days visa at all, and it's invalid. You could apply for a free replacement, but that just for the 30 days visa students. So we suggest students can apply for a Tier 4 visa, a student visa, when they are due to travel to the UK, rather than the start of their course, because some may have distance learning in China or in South Korea or in your mother country for some time. You could start applying later. So the third one is the graduate route I mentioned before. So it will benefit from, students will benefit from this concession if they enter the UK before 6th of April 2021 and complete the final semester of their studies in the UK. And they can start applying for the graduate route in summer 2021. The first one is ensuring that COVID-19 related absences will not count against students. So next slide, please.
Erica, I'm sorry to inform you that as we are running out of time, so I think we should wrap up our presentation here. But we promised the attendees we are going to record this and provide them also the answers for their questions. They already typed in. So we are going to contact you via email later this webinar campaign.
Sure.
And thank you so much for joining today and your support. It's okay.
Okay,
no,
see ya.
it's okay. It's okay. Thank you very much, Erica.
Sorry for everyone.
안녕하세요. 저는 주한영국문화원 교육사무실 소속 엄선현입니다. 저희 지금부터 유카스 관련된 세션을 시작을 할 건데요. 관련해서 지금 새로 접속하시는 분들도 계실 테니까 제가 처음부터 안내를 다시 해드리도록 하겠습니다. 안녕하세요. UK Talks 웨비나 시리즈의 세 번째 세션에 참석해 주셔서 감사합니다. 저는 주한영국문화원 교육사회실 소속 엄선현입니다. 팬데믹으로 인해 유학을 준비하던 분들의 학업 계획에 많은 변수가 있죠. 하지만 양질의 교육에 대한 열정은 좀처럼 꺼지지 않습니다. 여전히 미래에 대한 다양한 선택지를 원하는 분들을 위해 영국 유학 그리고 진로를 주제로 총 10개의 웨비나를 준비했습니다. 400명 넘는 분들이 신청해 주신 만큼 유익한 시간이 되기를 바라며 세 번째 세션 시작하겠습니다. 이번 세션에서는 영국대학 입학지원처 유카스의 마크 윌슨 매니저님이 발표를 해주실 거고요. 시작에 앞서 간단한 당부 말씀드리겠습니다. 본 세션은 영어로 25분간 진행될 예정이고요. 궁금한 점이 있다면 언제든지 채팅창에 질문을 해주시면 됩니다. 발표 종료 후 간단하게 실시간 질의응답을 할 예정이고요. 컴퓨터로 접속하신 분들은 우측에서 채팅창을 확인하실 수 있고 모바일 기기로 접속하신 경우 상단 물음표 아이콘을 누르시면 채팅창이 나옵니다. 채팅창에서 공감 가는 질문이나 마음에 드는 답변이 있다면 좋아요 버튼을 클릭해 주세요. 웨비나 종료 전에 한 분께 약소하지만 저희가 마음을 담아 준비한 선물을 드리겠습니다. 끝까지 자리를 지켜주시면 매우 감사하겠습니다. 그럼 지금부터 시작하겠습니다. Hi Mark, thank you so much for waiting for our opening in Korean. We are ready to hear your presentation now.
Hi, thank you very much, and many thanks to British Council Korea team for inviting UCAS to take part in this session. And my presentation will cover how and when to apply to UK universities for undergraduate courses. Next slide, please. At UCAS, we support over 700,000 students a year who apply to UK universities, UK students and international students. And for many of them, the journey is very similar. And we break it down into these 4 stages. And we help you at each one of those stages. So at the research stage, when you're looking to understand which courses are right for you, which universities you might wish to apply for, we provide information and advice, a comprehensive search facility which lists all of the courses that are available. And when you've selected the courses you'd like to apply for, UCAS provides the online application which you use to submit that application to your chosen university courses. A big part of the UCAS application is the personal statement, where you write about why you'd like to study the course. We've got lots of information and advice to support you on that, and I'll touch on that in more detail in a few moments. And finally, after you have sent your application to UCAS and we pass it on to the universities, you can come back to UCAS and log into part of the system called Track, and this is where you will see the responses coming back from the universities all in one place to let you know if you've been made an offer by those universities you chose. Next slide, please. Here are the basics about apply. So the application is online, as I said, and although you only complete one application, you can send that same application to 5 choices. Now, a choice in this sense is a university course. It might be that 2 choices are at one university and then you choose 3 other universities. So you don't have to choose 5 different universities, but the choice bit is the specific program or course that you're interested in. There are some differences. 5 choices is the general rule. But if you apply to medicine, veterinary science or dentistry, you can only use 4 choices for those subjects. But let's say you apply for medicine, you pick 4 medicine courses, you still have a 5th choice on your application, and many students will choose a related course not a medicine program, but something like BSc Biomedical Science, for example. So you can still use your 5 choices, even though only 4 can be for medicine. Also, if you are aiming to apply to Oxford or Cambridge, it's either Oxford or Cambridge. You cannot apply to both. We do charge a small application fee. You can see the cost in pounds sterling there, between 20 and 26 pounds. 26 pounds is the maximum you will ever need to pay UCAS for an application in 2021. We would offer additional services as well, but these are all contained within that £26 application fee. And we are a non-profit organisation, a charity by status, working to help students join UK university courses. Now, the UK works to an equal consideration system. It is not first come, first serve. So if you meet the relevant deadlines, you're guaranteed to have your application considered. And one final thing, although your one application goes to each of 5, up to maximum 5 choices, your choices are invisible to the other universities. So University 1 cannot see which other universities you've applied to. They don't know what your university choices would be other than their own, so that they can focus their decision on whether to make you an offer only on your application itself. Next slide, please. Now, these dates show you when to apply if you're looking to join for 2021, but the dates are very similar every year. So for 2022, it will be late May 2021 that the course is open. So it's very much the same. So don't worry if you're applying for 2022 rather than 21. This is still relevant information. So first of all, we publish all of the courses available on ucas.com. You can register your application, start to complete it. You can search for courses, make your choices from late May, but then you can only send the application from the first week of September, when the universities are ready to start considering applications for the following year. Now, the deadlines come up in October and January and June. You can see those here. The 15th of October deadline is very strict. It applies to Oxford, Cambridge, and those specialist programs, medicine and so on. And you really, if you want to apply to those courses or to Oxford and Cambridge, you really must meet the 15th of October deadline. Also, for many courses in that 15th of October deadline, there are additional admissions tests that you'll need to take. So please check to make sure you've registered in time for the right admissions test for Oxford, Cambridge, medicine, and so on. 15th of January is a more flexible deadline. You will find that many universities will still accept applications after this date. Some universities with very, very selective courses with many more applications than places available may not have space available after this date, but those courses are very few. And students can continue to submit one application with 5 choices up until the 30th of June each year. Next slide, please. And this is what the application will look like. You can see here a screenshot. You can see the video. We've got embedded videos and help text to answer your questions as you go through. 6 very straightforward parts or sections to the application. You enter your personal details. Section 2, you list the universities and courses you would like to apply to. And in section 3, the education section, you list all of your secondary education, all of the qualifications you have either completed or which are still pending. And don't worry if you haven't received your final grades yet. many UK universities will still make you an offer based on conditions that you achieve a certain grade in your final grades. Section 4 for employment is for full-time paid employment. So please don't worry if you're coming straight from school and you don't have employment experience. This is for students who perhaps left school or college and worked for some time, but it's often the case that work experience is not a requirement for undergraduate courses, for the majority of undergraduate courses. So if you have nothing to add to this section, that's not a problem. If you have volunteering or internship experience, you don't need to list that in employment, but you might wish to talk about it in the personal statement, which is where you would talk about what you have learned from those volunteering or internship experiences and how they make you suitable for the course. Section 6 is the reference. Now, each student must ask a teacher or a counsellor or somebody they know in a professional academic way to write a reference letter to support their application. And this should ideally be somebody who knows you academically. If you have grades still pending, then we ask them to say what predicted grades, what's the grade they expect you to achieve by the end of your studies. And once all of that is complete, you send the application to UCAS, we carry out some processing and checks, and we pass that directly to each of your university choices. Next slide, please. So the personal statement is one of those sections that's really quite important. You have basically 4,000 characters, which is like one side of A4 of typed normal text. And what you're trying to do with the personal statement is explain to the admissions tutor why you're a good student for the course. The focus will be very much on your academic suitability. In the UK, the interest from admissions tutors is much more narrow than in some other countries like the US, and admissions tutors want to know how well you will perform when you join the academic program at their university. So there are some quotes here from different universities about the personal statement to help give you an idea of what it is you should write about in your personal statement. So Manchester University highlights that point, that it's really about relevancy to the course that you're applying to. So what you say needs to be focused on that academic suitability. And Bristol University here, the head of undergraduate admissions, told us previously that ability, motivation and potential, that's what admissions tutors are looking for in the personal statement. Extracurricular interests and achievements can be of interest, but you really have to make these relevant to the course. So don't just list your achievements and extracurricular activities, only mention them if you can show, has that given you a skill or experience or knowledge that will help you on the program. And finally, from Durham University, the advice here from Director of Recruitment Admissions is very much that this is your chance to say something individual. So we want to hear from you. Don't listen too much to the wording of other people. Try to express yourself individually. And remember, it's uniqueness and individuality that will help convince admissions tutors that you are the right student for their course. Next slide, please. After you've submitted your application, you can see here the track system, which you would log into after submitting your application. And here you can check to see if the universities have accepted you. You can reply to those universities and say if you'd like to accept their offers or not. And you can see on the screenshot, there will be deadlines for when you need to reply to any offers. So when you log into Track, it will show you very clearly what deadline you need to respond by. So this is the place that you would go after you've used Apply and sent your application, and there's all sorts of information that you can get there. One place to check all of the decisions coming back from your different university choices. Next slide, please. When you've heard back from all of your universities, it's really important that you wait until you've heard from all of them before making decisions about where you want to study. So the UCAS system does not have any preference built into it. You do not say this is my #1 choice, my #2 choice of university when you apply. But when you've received your offers, this is the point where you tell us and you tell the universities your preferences. You can accept 2 offers if you wish. One, your firm offer is your first choice, where you really want to go, and you'll be automatically placed there as long as you meet any conditions for academic grades, English, and so on. Now, if you have still got grades pending, you may want to take out also an insurance offer. This would normally be a university which has offered you slightly lower entry requirements, and if you miss the grades required for your firm choice, then you can still be automatically placed. But you must decline all other offers, even if you received an offer from each of your university choices. You can only keep maximum of 2. Although the insurance choice is not compulsory, but we recommend that as good practice. Next slide, please. So we're here to help you. There's lots of information on ucas.com, but we will have a customer support center. We are open UK time, so I know that doesn't give you necessarily the biggest window in Korea because of the time difference, but from 8:30 in the morning to 6 p.m. you can call the Student Customer Experience Center with any problems or questions you have. If you are a counselor, if you work in a high school or an education consultancy, we have a separate team for you there as well that you can contact with any problems. And you can also get in touch to ask questions about help with your application through our social media channels too. So thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope that was helpful. I'm very happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. I think our attendees will find your presentation very, very helpful. So attendees, I encourage you to type your questions in the Q&A chat box and give a thumbs up if you find the answer useful. So I'm going to pick some questions from the Q&A box. I have already received, I'm sorry. This is about the visa, okay? We may need to wait for new questions, visa. We have many questions about visa, all right? All right. Okay. Please feel free to answer any questions. Mark, I think your presentation was very clear, so maybe they have no
I've answered
questions.
all the questions already. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Because this is kind of the first time I'm facing. Because, yeah, personally, I think I got all the information. I was curious about how to apply for UK universities. So I'm still waiting for more people to type in their questions. Oh, yeah. I have some questions. So, all right, okay. I'm not sure it's relevant, but I'm going to ask you. My child is in high school student. Okay, my child is at high school, and does she need also reference from her school teacher for entering university? If teacher can't make document in English, what should we do?
Hi, yes, there's a couple of options. That's a really good question. A reference is a compulsory part of the application. It can really help the admissions tutor understand the student's profile. So we do suggest that you try to get somebody that can write a reference. Many high schools will have English teachers who may be able to write the reference using input and feedback from the subject teachers who may not be able to communicate so well in English. So that is one way that you can do it. Other schools may have guidance counselors or university advice counselors who can also perform that same role of taking information from the subject teachers in Korean and then writing the reference for the school in English. Alternatively, if the student is able to get a reference only in Korean, then please use a translation service and look to send the reference in English.
Oh, I get it. So it's not mandatory, but it really helps for the student. So I think we have that kind of service to credit for the translated document. So I think that could work in this case. So I have the next question. So, all right, a student asked that, so actually the university make decision about firm or insurance for the offer or the student themselves.
Yes, so that's a good point of clarification. The university will make an offer, which if the student has fully completed their exams and they've taken IELTS and so on, they may receive an unconditional offer. But if they have not yet finished their secondary school, then the offer from the university might be a conditional offer. So we will offer you a place if you achieve these grades in your secondary education. So when you've received that offer from the university, the firm offer is the student's response. And when a student accepts the offer as their firm offer, this means that they're saying, this is my first choice. So it's the student's choice to say, this is my firm offer, the university I most want to go to. And if they also wish to have an insurance offer, that's the student's choice for that insurance offer too.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mark. I wonder, because from what I know, UCAS is only for the undergraduate programs. Is that right?
That's correct, yes. So we do have only a very small postgraduate service, but all universities in the UK use UCAS for undergraduate.
Oh, so which means you do have some options for postgraduate as well, but it is not full range of service.
Yes, the students can use UCAS to search for postgraduate courses, but the applications are managed individually by each university, and we will send you to the appropriate application form, which might be the university's own application for postgraduate courses. But we manage the UCAS undergraduate application system on behalf of those universities.
Okay, I get it. So I think we need to wrap up from here because we are running out of time. And I deeply appreciate for sharing such valuable information today, Mark. So I want to say to attendees, if you find this session useful, please send a thank you message to Mark in the chat box. And we're going to do another webinar series for the postgraduate level in March next year. So we will keep you posted if it's relevant for you. So please make sure to follow us on KakaoTalk. And our team has randomly picked a person for our present. So the winner, you already got the reply from your comment. So please check the question box. It could say my question or 내 질문. So please follow up with the information provided. So everyone, thank you so much for joining our third session today. And the fourth session will start in 10 minutes. So if you're interested in sports business, please feel free to join. If not, stay tuned for the upcoming events and the latest news for Study UK at our Kakao Talk. So once again, thank you so much for joining today, including Mark, and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.